Free Guy is the latest release from Disney's 20th Century Studios. It stars Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer, Lil Rel Howery, Joe Keery, and Taika Waititi, and is directed by Sean Levy. Before we get into this, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It does wonders in getting my content out there. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to keep up to date with all my content. Bank teller Guy discovers he is actually a background player in an open world video game and decides to become the hero of his own journey. One he rewrites himself. Now in a world where there are no limits, he is determined to be the guy who saves his world his way, before it's too late. It is madness to me that here we are in August of 2021 and we're still getting movies hit cinemas that should have opened back in last year. That's right, this one right here, Free Guy from Disney's 20th Century Studios, should have opened last July. This movie is coming out 13 months after its original release date. This is one that of course got delayed multiple times, just like so many other movies. This one though, however, actually got removed from Disney's release schedule altogether at one point and then re-emerged. I feel like this is a movie that, I don't want to say Disney didn't have much faith in, but I feel like it's a movie that maybe Disney didn't have as a high priority. This is a movie that a lot of people just kind of felt was going to be just your standard run-of-the-mill action, comedy, adventure movie. The kind of movie you shill out a few bucks when you go to the cinemas, you have some popcorn, and then you forget about it in a couple of months' time. I don't know, maybe Disney felt that way. In fact, this is the only Disney movie in these since the beginning of the pandemic, that Disney are actually sending directly to theaters exclusively. Everything else has had a Disney Plus option. The marketing strategy, everything for this movie has been a little bit all over the place. Maybe it hasn't been on the radar of too many people. But I kind of feel like that this was maybe to the detriment of this movie, because this movie is really wonderful. Now, I grew up with action comedies. It's one of my favorite genres ever. I grew up with movies like Beverly Hills Cop and Ghostbusters and Lethal Weapon and Men in Black, all those kinds of movies. Absolutely adore them. And I feel like it has been kind of slim pickings with this genre of late. I mean, outside of all the superhero stuff, which does, tread that line between action and comedy and, all that kind of adventure stuff. I'm talking about like stripped back, just action comedy. I feel like we haven't had one of these for a very, very long time that you could maybe say was like a modern classic. I feel like Free Guy is probably the only one that I can think of in the last few years at least that I think could fit into that category right there, because this movie is so much fun. And I was not expecting to have so much fun in this movie. Now, Ryan Reynolds is fantastic. He's always terrific. Now, he's playing his standard shtick. I think Ryan Reynolds has a trademark style of comedy now. Almost sarcastic, kind of straight-faced, goofy kind of comedy. But it works so well. And this movie here almost kind of feels like an innocent Deadpool. It's that same kind of comedy, particularly when you've got like the subversion, you've got breaking of the fourth wall, all that kind of stuff. It is very Deadpool, but it's a more innocent one. It's more something for like the whole family kind of thing. And I think it's a nice little kind of twist on that, and I think it works. It doesn't feel like it's a tired shtick. It just feels like something that Ryan Reynolds is very, very good at doing, and he is so wonderful in this movie. The biggest thing that surprised me about this movie is how heartfelt it is. It has this incredible heart to it, and it is just so joyous in nature. It's a happy movie. It's a movie that just makes you just smile, and you have so much fun with it. The laughs are not like malice laughs. These are just really just kind of innocent laughs. A lot of really great innocent humor in here. And it's clever though. It's really clever and wacky kind of comedy that I think everyone can kind of relate to. Again, so many comedies these days are like sardonic or dark humor, or this is just like an innocent comedy movie. And I feel like it's a great movie to see in a cinema, because these are the kinds of movies that is great to experience in that kind of communal environment. So if you are in a place where you can get out to see this movie in a cinema, again at the moment this is the only way you can see it, I definitely recommend doing that. Now, this is a video game movie at heart. So I feel like you maybe really do have to be a gamer or someone that is familiar with games, has played games, even just casually, to kind of understand a lot of it. Now, I'm not a huge gamer myself, but I do love video games. I grew up playing video games, and every now and then when I do get a little bit of spare time, some of my favorite games are open world games. Grand Theft Auto, like the recent Spider-Man game was fantastic. So a lot of the references and stuff that are thrown in here I absolutely did understand. And it was great little throwbacks, really nostalgic little things as well. Just reminded me of playing these games when I was a kid. But I feel like if maybe you're not so familiar with this kind of thing, it might not be something that you will connect with on that greater level. I guess most people play games casually, at least these days. So there's enough in here for most people to kind of get the gist of it. And again, it is just a really great comedy to just go and enjoy as well. But I feel like if you don't have that kind of knowledge, haven't involved yourself in that world too much, I feel like you will miss a little bit. There's so many really fantastic sight gags, and there's really fantastic, great Easter eggs in there for the more hardcore gamers. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in there that I personally didn't pick up on, but I think it's just such a wonderfully, just fantastic video game movie, and perhaps the best, maybe one of the best video game movies out there, because it doesn't take itself too seriously. And look at that, there's really not much else I can say about this movie. It is just a really fun time. Go into the movies, switch your brain off, have a fun time laughing at some great jokes, enjoying the company of some really fantastic performers, giving just really great performances. Enjoy that. I mean, my favorite part of the movie is just the emotion, the heart, the little threads of romance and everything that's thrown into it. It's just such a joyous experience. And we all need something like this right now, because it is just the kind of thing that uplifts you, gets your spirits up a little bit. And I know a lot of us are still feeling down at the moment. I think when something like this comes along, it's definitely worth going out of your way, again, if you feel safe and comfortable to do so, to go and see this and experience it, because it is really such a wonderful movie. And at that, I'm happy to give Free Guy a 4 out of 5. Filled with hilarious moments, a super fun cast, enormous heart, and pure joy, Free Guy is an incredibly welcome surprise and an instant action comedy classic of the kind we haven't seen for quite a while. Ryan Reynolds absolutely kills, and the supporting cast are all on top form. Free Guy is now open exclusively in theaters globally, thanks to the incredible team over at Disney for securing myself a screener for this movie. Look, we have been in and out of lockdowns here in Melbourne. We were supposed to have a screening for this one in a theater. A couple of weeks ago, it got cancelled because of the lockdowns, the flipping, the flopping, and all that stuff. Incredible team Disney. I know you guys must have been absolutely running around and trying to get stuff sorted for us media. We do appreciate it. I appreciate it greatly. So thank you so much for pulling through with access for this one, so I could cover it for you and provide a review to everybody out there who's interested in checking this one out. And thanks everybody out there for watching. I do appreciate it. I will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Hey everyone, if you haven't yet, smash that big old subscribe button up on your screen to keep up to date with all my content, and hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month for exclusive videos, early access content, and to get your name up on the screen. Thanks again for watching.